Biafra level, my man. Oh yes, so run no ye wanna wash na. Biafra level, my man. Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku. The spirit of Biafra is upon me. That is why I am offering this song to our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa in Urobo dialect and Isoko. Lucky star is sinking, Udogu, Ekpa. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Amorotomo agbada bururu. Excellency Simon Ekpa. Nieruwe yo witruwe salute. Mr. with the same the freedom you brought to do well for us. Mr. with the same no. Amorotomo agbada guru. PM Simon Njoku, you have done so much for us. I am shedding tears of joy. Your tide cannot be seen easily. I search around the whole world, the greatest freedom fighter. We, the Robo and Isuku, we appreciate you awesome. Worry sister say you are so good, you are so wonderful. Clara Dimu say you are so good. Amorutamo agbada. Helen Peter say you are so good. That is the truth. Patricia Robo say you are so good. Amorutamo agbada guru. Soko with the sedo. What a wonderful man. The good guy. It's only the fool that we hate him. And I know those who are sitting at the fence in this Biafra struggle, they will not learn. Maybe they will learn in the grave. Urobisoko with the sendo. The freedom you brought to do well for us. Worry sister say you are so good. Urobisoko with the sendo. Clara Dim say you are so good. Anna Wabada Guru. Amarotomo agbada guru. Amarotomo agbada guru. Urobisoko with the sendo. Urobisoko with throw a salute. Even lucky star in the sendo. You do well, with the sendo. You do well, we salute you, we throw a salute. Patricia Urobo say you are so good, you are so good. Amorotomo agbada guru. I am in tears of joy For your good work cannot be quantified. Oh, Amorotomo Agbada Guru.
Those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb were born. Do this very well. You must be very, very strong.
Makamwero mwekanyinaga Biko kulien ogeruo Biko kulien Iye jamalike ogeruo Owene ndiaboroku Makamwero wangi Owene ndiaburu chekwa Makamwero wewu Biafra Biko kulien Ogeruo, Biko Kulien, Iye Jamalike Ogeruo, the spirit of Biafra, Biko Kulien Ogeruo, when the Biafra Gideon, Biko Kulien Ogeruo, Oamadike Nona Donjon, Mukeweki Heremeyae, Bodike, Mosike Rurajobalike. Biko Kulien Ogeruo, Biko Kulien, Iye Jamalike Ogeruo. The Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in exile, once Simon M. It wants to smooth to swing up and in Naibu. They got it on top of my Ebudo or Guinea. Once Simon Ekpa, Emesu Okokwere, Onyendu. Iye Jamalike Ruo, Imokwa Simon Ekpa Wujie. Iye Jamalike Ruo, Simon Ekpa Watatata Wo. Ojuda Kwenyi, Mwikwero Nyendu Kine Betata. I will follow you, I will follow you, I will follow you, never do that. I will follow you, Mwa Prime Minister Veronyen. Aniga Wanuga, I will follow you. I will follow you. I will follow you. The question is this: if Nigerian government failed to organize referendum for children of Biafra, are you ready to lead us to do anything in order to get freedom for Biafra? And I'm going to be number one to follow you. If you are looking for 100 men, you will find 50 in me. Okwe Bucharangui, Master Simon Ekpa, or Guinea. Master Simon Ekpa, Biko, GC, Kaka, Njoku, Atakata, Kaina, Ojuda, Uwe, Kwipolonyendu, Kine, Menata. I am 50 men, oh yes, and I said, I will follow you. I will follow you. I will follow you. Never look back. I will follow you. For Prime Minister Veronye, Aniga Wanuga, I will follow you. Anina, I will follow you. I will follow you. For Simon Ekpa Veronye, Oamadike Biafra, Dahi Poroka Biarole, Iye Jamalike Ruo. Biafra Republic Government Awujie. Iye Jamalike Ruo, Commander General Leweshiri. General Buduso, Sona Atakata War. Commander Holy Ghost, Oko
tata. Iko kulie nuo, oke nuo. Iko kulie, iye jama ike oke nuo. Iko kulie nuo, iye jama ike oke nuo.
Maka Biafra, wero putara nyi onye ndu, Simon Ekpa, Oba Tobiye.
Witness me, I want to remain in the spirit because we must worship heaven. We answer your name, O Lord of hosts. Everything about us is designed to offer glory unto thee. We have atoned for our sins last year. This very year we have not only atoned for our sins, we have sealed, we have shed blood, they have shed our blood. We have let our sacrifice be made unto thee. Even on the 30th of August, as we are being felled by the bullets of the enemy, by the workers of iniquity and of darkness, we remain very strong today to beckon upon thee, to ask you for your mercy and for your grace, to ensure that your kingdom is restored upon the face of the earth, that you can bring your healing hand to bear upon the life of those of them that you created for one singular purpose, and that purpose alone, which is to worship you in truth and in every honesty. Is there any way that we have erred? Is there any way that our ancestors may have sinned? We confess before a congregation of the whole of humanity to ask you, oh Lord of hosts, to have mercy on us. You must have mercy upon us. We have suffered enough. We have been subjugated enough. We have been tortured enough. We have been imprisoned enough. We did not do these people anything. Our only crime is to answer your name. Our only crime is to be born your children. Our only crime is to excel at everything that we place our hands into. Our only crime is to exhibit your glory and your blessing, which manifestedly is upon our lives every blessed day. That is why they want to kill us. That is why the British want to join those of them who don't know you to destroy your creation and your inheritance. You will not allow shame to befall your name. You will not allow the enemies to triumph over the lives of your children, because you created us to exist, to worship, to honor, and to praise you. That is exactly what we are going to do when this Biafra comes. It will come in truth and in every honesty, because we remain every blessed day whiter than white and whiter than snow. Is there any way that we have sinned that you cannot forgive us our trespasses, to enable us to fulfill your own word, which was spoken thousands of years ago, that instead of what you promised not to come to pass, that heaven and earth will cease to exist? You opened your mouth to bless mankind to the coming of Yahweh Yeshua, who came here and said, let your kingdom come on earth as it is in heaven. Those words can never be in vain, because they are anchored upon your holiness and your magnificence. That is why in the end we know that Biafra will come, that these children that we have given birth to all over the world, and their children, and their children, and their children, as long as they give birth to them and they are Biafrans, they will worship you in truth and honesty. Through this very work we are doing, mankind will come to understand you. Let your miracle be wrought in our lives. Let us witness and behold your magnificence, your holiness, your mystery, and your grace under our command. O Lord of hosts, we call upon you. We call upon you to heal. We call upon you to provide succor to those of them who are inconsolable. We ask you to come and strengthen those who are weak. We ask you to restore hope where there is hopelessness. We ask you for inclusion where there is destitution. We ask you for one brotherhood, one camaraderie, one bone, one blood, and one flesh of your children. The Efiks and the Bibios, the Izon, the Shekiri, the Isobos, and also those of them from Isoto. We are traveling all the way to the lands of Igala. We are moving on from there to Idoma, to Igede, to the territories of the Igbo land. All these places we dedicate unto thee. All these lands of yours, we ask you to cover it with your mercy, because Biafra will come, and when it does, we will dance on the streets. I'm telling you, by the time that we are done, humanity will think that we are mad, we are drunk in your glory, and rightfully so, because your kingdom will come to rest upon this very earth. That very kingdom is the unadulterated, non-negotiable sovereignty of the Republic of Biafra, that your will may be fulfilled in our time. All these we pray, all these we ask for, in no other name apart from that name that belongs to you. He said,
Biafra Republic! Biafra Republic!
Thank you so much for joining me on today's program. I appreciate everyone that has connected to this program this morning. Wherever you are connecting from, I urge you to please like and share the program on your own platform. Share to family and friends. Share to everyone that is close to you. I welcome everyone that is watching. If you are watching me from TikTok, I welcome you. If you are watching from Facebook, I appreciate you and I welcome you. And if you are watching me from the YouTube, where I'm hosting the program, I'm hosting this program on YouTube on David Harbour channel. That is where I'm hosting the program. I welcome you also. This platform where you are watching this program is a platform that is under the Biafran government. A platform under the command of our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, and on the supreme command of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. In this platform, we do not come here to instigate violence. We don't come here to attack people or individuals. We do not come here to attack any race or religion. What we do in this platform is to speak on the Biafra freedom. What we do in this platform is to encourage the Biafrans to continue to hold on to their freedom, pursue their freedom until they find it. The freedom of Biafran people is very important to us Biafrans. My own very self that is speaking here, I am an Igbo Biafran, a proud one at that, unapologetically an Igbo Biafran. Biafra is a country that have existed for a very long time, has been recognized by other countries until Nigeria came against its 1967 and fought 3 years war until 1970. From 1967 to 1970, it was a heavy warfare between the Biafrans and Nigeria. Biafrans were fighting on their own without support from anywhere, but Nigeria was supported and sponsored by the UK, United Kingdom, which is the main perpetrator of that crime, supported by the United States, supported by Russia and France. You can see the whole world powers were against the little Biafra, fighting against Biafra for 3 good years. We fought and fought and fought until at a point in time, the genocide was so much. They were taking innocent life in Biafra land, more especially using starvation. There was a serious blockade against Biafrans. Food was not coming in. Our children, women were dying. Not in the hand of the bullet, but starved to death. When it became so much, the Biafrans had no choice. And the eternal leader, Ekpa Njoku, gave up the fight. And he went to exile. General Effiong handed over, and Nigeria came and declared no victor, no vanquish. From that very moment, 1970s till date, even though they said no victor, no vanquish, the war has not stopped. As I'm speaking to you now, the war is still going on in Biafra territory. Biafrans are still losing their lives in huge numbers. As I speak to you, the death is still happening in Biafra land, and nobody is being held accountable. What transpired in 1967 till 1970 was a genocide. Nigeria committed genocide against the Biafrans with the support of the world powers. Nobody has been held accountable up to this moment. And not only that, they have continued on the same path till date. No international media is going to report that. The conventional media in Nigeria will not report it. You can only get this information from some of us who are working under the government of Biafra. Everything we say on this platform is verifiable. All you need to do is to listen to us, and you go and make your own verifications and you find out the truth. I'm not telling you to believe me, but I'm asking you to pay attention to what is going on in Biafran territory. It is so sad that some people who are even Biafrans are not paying attention to what is going on. The genocide in Biafra land has continued. They have never stopped. Instead, they are increasing the force every blessed day. While we are here talking, people are still losing their life in Biafra land. This is why we said enough is enough. We cannot continue to wait for somebody to come and redeem us. We, the Biafran people, have to rise up and pursue our freedom. That is where we are today. It is so sad that some people have picked offense because we said we want to be free from captivity. No reasonable person will be angry at somebody who says he no longer wants to be a slave. It's only the slave master that gets angry when you hear that a slave wants to be free. The slave master will not be happy. They will do everything possible to keep you in captivity. But it is your choice if you want to remain there or not. That is why the Biafran people have taken it upon themselves to pursue their freedom and get it. It doesn't matter how anybody feels. For a very long time, we have been looking on people. We have kept our faith on the people, trying to make people like us, accept us. And because of that, they succeeded in pushing so many lies and propaganda against us. That is why we have said enough is enough. Today, we take it upon ourselves to defend ourselves, to speak for ourselves, and to restore the independent state of Biafra. This morning, we have come once again. Remember, every morning when I come here, more especially those who are following me on YouTube, David Harbour channel, where I'm hosting this program. It is always an interactive section, a section where you can join me on stage, ask your question, make your contribution, say your prayers. The only thing I request on the platform is that whenever you are joining me on stage, make sure you appear decent. You cannot appear on our program naked. No, we will not allow that. You must appear decent. And when you are making your submission, do it in a civil manner. That is all we ask. It doesn't matter how angry you are. It doesn't matter how disappointed you are. It doesn't matter the opinion you have. Whatever be your question, put it forward in a civil manner so that the world can be able to understand you, digest the information, and then you will get your answer. The whole world is watching us on this platform. Biafran government is watching. The Prime Minister is watching us on this very platform. And every question you write down, you ask, will be noted and will be responded to accordingly. If you are watching me from the YouTube, you have the right to use that link and join me on stage and make your points. But if you are watching me from Facebook, on TikTok, all you need to do is to write down your question if you have any question. Once I set my eyes on your question, I'm going to respond to you. Today we have come once again to discuss. And the topic I choose to discuss today is, for those who are with me on the channel where the program is being hosted, David Harbour channel on YouTube. It says, Biafra Republic Government in Exile Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Njoku, the end and the nemesis of the fraud called Nigeria. That's the hard truth. Our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoku, is the end and nemesis of the fraud called Nigeria. The contraption called Nigeria is not meant to be, wasn't a country, and has never been a country. Nigeria is a British company established by the British for their own interests, for trade reasons. It is because of trade. That was why they established Nigeria. Nigeria was formed in order to use that very entity to manipulate and control Africa. And Nigeria has been playing that role for a very long time. That is why sometimes they have been referred to as giant of Africa. Nigeria being called a giant of Africa is not that it's doing anything special or that it is much greater than other African countries, but because it is the strong tool in the hand of the colonial masters to manipulate Africa and subject Africa into captivity. That is why they refer to it as a giant of Africa. It is not because of success. It's not a giant because it's succeeding. It's not a giant because they have the rule of law. It's not a giant because there is a good example there. There's nothing good about it. It's only because it is the only instrument in the hand of the colonial masters to manipulate and control Africa. And they have been doing it a very long time until this time when we said enough is enough. And that is why we are calling for the disintegration of that entity. That instrument of operation in Africa called Nigeria must be disintegrated. I must confess to you, there are wonderful people who are in that contraption. There are wonderful people that are being held captive in that name, in quote, called Nigeria, in that territory. There are wonderful brains that are being held captive. And there is no doubt that when you see them outside the territory of that zoological republic, they are doing exploit. The major tribe that is held captive in the zoo is the Biafran people. Biafrans are doing exploit any place you see them. They are exceptional. Wherever you go and you hear that there are Nigerians doing well, go and check and verify. 90% of them are from Biafra land. Any place you go and you see people doing well, when you see them bring their statistics, they say, oh, when you go to the United States, that Nigerians are the most educated, they have the highest number of educated people. Go and check who those people are. They are not from the north. Those people are from the southern part of Nigeria. In that southern part of Nigeria, when you check it properly, you see that, let me not exaggerate, about 70% of those people are from Biafra land. 30% are from other regions within the south. It is a hard truth. Sometimes when we speak about these facts, they say we are being proud. When we speak about these facts, some get angry. But are we going to start telling lies in order not to make you angry? We have been trying as much as possible to be silent for a long time. This time along, we want to make you angry. If you want to hug transformer, go and hug the nearest transformer near you and die. You can't stop us from speaking up and speaking the truth. The only thing you can do is that when we speak and you have a superior fact, present it and let's see. We are not into any saga or blackmail or propaganda. That is not why you're here. Bring your facts and come to interrupt us. As long as you have no fact to present, give way and allow us to exit. The fraud called Nigeria has ended. And our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is in the forefront to end it. It does not matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter what you think. Your lie and propaganda cannot stop us, neither does it hold water. Our focus is on the real deal, the restoration of the independent state of Biafra. A nation that have existed in the past and continue to exist, and we will make sure that we restore it. Your hatred cannot stop us. You have went and kidnapped our Supreme Namazen Nandekam, a man who only was asking you to conduct a referendum for Biafrans to be free. You went ahead and you kidnapped him. Using some of the idiotic Biafrans, those ones who cannot think beyond their belly, those of them who cannot take their decisions, those of them who their belly speaks for them. They sold Mazen Nandekane to you, and you rejoiced, you celebrated it, you thought that it has all ended. We were all watching when you came online and celebrated the kidnap of Mazen Nandekane. And for 4 years now, you have been holding him captive and he let go. Even when he has won the whole case in your own court, according to your own law, he has defeated you, but yet you do not want to give up. But when you arrested, when you kidnapped Mazen Nandekane, that was when you made your greatest mistake, unknowingly. Your kidnap of Mazen Nandekane today have given birth to Biafra. The kidnap of Mazen Nandekane has given birth to Biafra, and I bet you there is nothing anybody can do about that. If you are a Biafran and you're not paying attention, it is up to you. And if you are a Nigerian, you have to accept this very fact. The earlier you accept this fact, the better for you. Know this and know peace, that Biafra would never be part of Nigeria anymore. And the exit is something that is unstoppable. The process has started and there's no going back. In this new dimension, under the command of the Prime Minister, Ekpa Njoku, the zoo will never remain the same. It does not matter what the people think. It doesn't matter how you feel. Your propaganda and your blackmail will never stop the truth from coming out. We stand on the truth. Gone are the days of propaganda. Gone are the days of noise making. Gone are the days of the miscreant. Today, it is very clear that Biafrans are ready to leave the zoo. And when we speak with facts based on things that are on the ground. That is why I tell you, do not just believe what I'm saying because I'm saying it. You must pay attention, listen carefully, and you will understand better. My fellow Biafrans that are watching, anywhere you're watching from, we must not allow ourselves to be deceived. We have an update from our Prime Minister. Just a minute ago, he shared it. Let us see what the update is saying. A post from the Prime Minister just a minute ago. The post said, Biafra Government, Office of the Prime Minister, 27th September 2024. Open invitation for media journalists to cover the Declaration of Restoration of Independent State of Biafra Convention. Open invitation to media / journalists to cover the Declaration of Restoration of Independence of Biafra Convention 2024. Towards our principle on transparency, the Biafra government is hereby formally inviting all media houses and journalists across the globe to cover the Declaration of the Restoration of Independent State of Biafra Convention 2024, which will be held in Lahti, Finland, from the 29th of November till the 3rd of December 2024. All arrangements have been adequately made by the Biafran government for their accreditation and to accommodate their presence. For further steps, please contact info@biafrarepublic.gov.org. The Biafra government is committed to promoting public transparency through the presence of media houses and individual journalists. We expect compliance to the Biafra ethics for journalism, which mandates the public's right to truth. We are looking forward to welcoming you to Finland. This is a statement from the Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa. Official statement. An official invitation issued to all media network, both private and public, to come and witness the restoration of independence state of Biafra Convention 2024 in Lahti. This is an update that came from our Prime Minister just a minute ago. He posted on his platform X. So wherever you are as a Biafran, wherever you are as a journalist, you are welcome to the convention of Biafra, Biafra Convention. You're welcome, very, very much welcome. Come there and see things for yourself. More especially the Biafran people, you need to be there to witness the convention. The Prime Minister of Biafra, Republic of Exile, Mazi Simon Ekpa, is equal to the task. That is why I am telling you people, when I say, we don't just say things to make you happy or to make you angry. What we speak are facts. And when we say something, go and verify. The zoological republic called Nigeria has ended since 2014. And nobody has the balls to question the existence of Nigeria. But today, finally, somebody has volunteered to end it all. The Convention of Biafra that is coming up November, December marks the end of the zoo. In that convention, the final result of the self-referendum will be called. In case you have forgotten, in that self-referendum, already Biafra have recorded more than 50 million votes. More than 50 million Biafrans have voted for the exit of Biafra from Nigeria. The self-referendum conducted by the Biafran people has been verified and endorsed by some international bodies. Some investigative journalists have gone underground to confirm, because some people are still doubting how it was done. It was done online and on the ground through Google. And you know, when you do your program through Google, it is verifiable. Anybody can go and verify. You can't beat it. As we know, Google remains the best you can be able to use in such kind of issues. It was conducted. Those who matter look into it, and I saw it as very, very okay and approved. After the final result is called, on the 2nd of December, the declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra will be made. The declaration of the restoration of independent state of Biafra will be made. After that declaration on 2nd, it will never ever be the same anymore. It will never ever be the same. And when we talk about this declaration, it is not just to declare. a lot of things are going on in preparation towards that declaration of Biafra. A lot is going on. For those who care to know, a whole lot is going on. And I bet you, if you are not following up, you better start following up. Because we are in a time where we can no longer afford to be silent and pretend that nothing is happening. For those of us who are following our Prime Minister on X, most of these informations you will have within your reach. And you cannot be deceived. You will say you didn't hear. The update coming from our Prime Minister is first-hand. This invitation is official. And again, there is an official statement that was released yesterday from our Prime Minister. Official release in solidarity with Dr. Cho Ayaba, the Ambazonian leader. Every one of you heard about the arrest of Cho Ayaba, our fellow compatriot, a person who is in alliance with us, somebody who is pursuing the same thing we are pursuing. But it is sad that when the news of Cho Ayaba broke up, some people begin to use it against him. Some people who claim to be freedom fighters began to mock Cho Ayaba. And I wonder, what kind of freedom fighter are you? That you will hear about the problem of a fellow freedom fighter and you are rejoicing. Who does that? You heard about the kidnap, the arrest of a fellow freedom fighter who is fighting for the same thing you are fighting for, and you are celebrating it. That is how idiotic some of us can be. And these people claim to be Biafrans. This is a man who entered into alliance with Mazen Nandekano, the supreme leader of IPOB, and has continued to support Biafra on different angles. But when he gets a problem, some people who claim to be fighting for Biafra began to attack him. Now you understand better. When we say that some of these idiotic people are working for the zoo, you don't believe, but I'm going to show it to you. Some of us have a very short memory. First of all, let us read the official statement of our Prime Minister for the case of Cho Ayaba. Biafra government, Office of the Prime Minister, press statement on the detention of the President of the Ambazonia Governing Council. Today, I have extensive discussion with Ambazonian Vice President and I have been briefed about what may have transpired. We call on the Norwegian authority to do their job in a civilized way and also to understand that taking away the leader of a freedom movement doesn't solve the problem or stop the ideological movement for freedom. We urge them to also investigate every atrocity against Ambazonian people, which Dr. Ayaba and Ambazonian people will be presenting to the concerned authority in Norway and beyond. Biafra people will continue to stand strongly with our brother and sisters in Ambazonia. We stand with Dr. Cho Ayaba. 100%, yes, we do. We look forward to seeing him released soon. It is not the name you call us today that matters, but the name you will call us in 10 years' time. Absolutely. Our alliance with Ambazonia remains strong and intact. Dr. Ayaba is healthy and strong. And I am very optimistic that this is an opportunity for him and Ambazonian people to present their case and lecture those who are not on the know. This is a statement from our Prime Minister, Master Simon Ekpa. on the issue of the Ambazonian leader, Joe Ayoba. Just like our Prime Minister said, we look forward to seeing him soon. And he said, very, very important, listen, it is not the name you call us today that matters, but the name you will call us in 10 years' time. It is not the name they call you today as a Biafran. You that is fighting for your freedom, speaking for the freedom of your people. The name they call you today does not matter. It is what they're going to call you in the future. So many people that are being celebrated today have been called one name or the other. Today you see people talking about Mandela, praising Mandela as a hero. Mandela was tagged a terrorist by the British. Mandela, even after his release, even while he was a president, he was not a president. In the United States, he was still known as a terrorist. They did not remove the terrorist tag on him. United States removed it recently, even I think that after his death, they removed it. But today, Mandela, anywhere you mention Mandela, is a symbol of peace, symbol of freedom, symbol of authority. But there was a time he was seen as a terrorist. You dare not mention his name. The whole West, they saw him as a terrorist. And it is just of recent that his name was removed in the United States as a terrorist. This is a reality. Martin Luther King that you celebrate in the United States today, Martin Luther King, that you celebrate who fought for the African freedom. At a point in time, he was seen as a terrorist. He was tagged a terrorist. They call him different kinds of names. There is no name they didn't call him. But today, Martin Luther King is somebody that is celebrated in the United States as a symbol of authority, symbol of unity, and symbol of love. Today, you dare not desecrate the name of Martin Luther King in the United States. You don't. Gandhi of India was at a point in time tagged as a terrorist by the British. Gandhi was seen as a terrorist. But what happened at last? Today he's being celebrated. There are so many of them, so many people you celebrate today as heroes. At a point in time, they were called terrorists because they were pursuing their rights, because they were fighting a righteous cause. So you see the statement of our Prime Minister here that it is not what you are called today that matters, it is what you will be called in times to come. In few years to come, what are you going to be called? What you are being called today doesn't matter. As long as you know you are standing on the right path, pursuing a legitimate cause, don't bother yourself about what you are called today. Do not bother yourself about the tag they give you today. It is what you'll be called in years to come. Today, you see the way they tag us, those of us who are asking for freedom from the Zoological Republic. Those Biafrans that talk about freedom, look at how they look down on us. Just check from where we started. There was a time they were calling us miscreants. But today, that word that miscreants have died a natural death, they have realized that we are not miscreants as they thought. Today, the miscreant they thought we are is taking them to the hell. They are having sleepless nights because of those people they call miscreants. They called Master Simon Ekpa, our Prime Minister, a nobody. They said that thing in Finland. Today, that thing in Finland is giving them sleepless nights. That thing in Finland, they have planned on different occasions to kidnap him from Finland. They could not succeed. They have tried different measures to destroy that thing in Finland. They could not succeed. It is not what they call you today that matters. It is what you'll be called tomorrow. That is why when I see some of them who claim to be Biafrans, you claim to be Biafran, a freedom fighter. But when you hear about the demise of the problem, or that a fellow freedom fighter had a problem, you will be happy. and you keep celebrating. I wonder, what kind of freedom fighter are you? What kind of a freedom fighter are you that you will hear about the failure of your fellow freedom fighter and you are happy? The only reason why they are happy is that they are not interested in the freedom fighting. The only truth is that they are only interested in going against their own, fighting against their own, trying to destroy their own. That is what they are. Because they are working for the enemy. Joe Ayoba, we know, is a man who has worked with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started the handshake with Ambazonia. Our supreme leader Mazen Nnamdi Kanu started the handshake with the Ambazonians. But today, you see somebody, Delilah talking down on that man who is standing up for his own people, rejoicing that the man, up to the extent of saying that our Prime Minister, who is fighting for her own freedom and the freedom of her own children, wishing him also to be kidnapped. We know whom they are working for. It is now clear. Much more clearer than ever. And no matter what they do, we are going to decimate them and they are going to lose the battle. Wherever you are watching this program from, if you are still one of those who are confused, do not get confused. If you are standing with Mazen Simon Ekpa, you are on the right path. If you are standing with Mazen Simon Ekpa, you are on the right path. Continue to stand there, pursue your freedom and follow it. And I bet you, we are going to be free. Don't tell me you are confused. The IPOB in Nigeria has been handed over to the governors. IPOB in Nigeria is a political pressure group. Political pressure group. That is what they have been converted to. After the kidnap of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, the people who were supposed to pilot IPOB took IPOB and handed it over to the governors. They didn't hand over only IPOB to the governor. They also handed over the ESN, the security that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu put in place to protect the people. They handed it over to the governors. I didn't say it. That is why I say, whatever I say, go and verify. When you hear our Prime Minister say that IPOB has ended, it is no more. When you hear our Prime Minister say that when Mazen Nnamdi Kanu comes out, IPOB will be completely dissolved. IPOB as an organization, not a nation. IPOB as a nation today has a government. It has been transformed to a government. They have a government that speaks to them, a government under the Prime Minister Mazen Simon. But IPOB as an organization, which Mazen Nnamdi Kanu established for the benefit of Biafra, has been hijacked completely and handed to the governors. I am not just saying it to make you happy. It is a fact. And I'm going to show you evidence pointing to that. I am going to show you evidence so that you wouldn't say you didn't know. Every one of us saw when a governor came out and spoke in his own mouth and said, we are now working with the IPOB. They are working for us. It wasn't done in the secret. Every one of us know that the supreme leader of IPOB, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, has nothing to do with politics. He has announced before time, even before he's kidnapped, that we will no longer partake or participate or allow election in Biafra territory. That the zoo will no longer conduct election. He said it in ABC in a clear terms. But today, the Delilah is today one of the sponsors and the key people who is opposing Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, who joined them to hand over the IPOB Mazin Nanikan established to the governors. Remember when she told us that she had a meeting? She had a meeting with Soludo, with the pig in the creek, with all the enemies of Mazin Nanikan. She was rapporting with them. After that meeting, they handed over the IPOB Nigeria. The IPOB Mazin Nanikan established, they handed it over to the governors, transformed it to IPOB Nigeria, and made it a political pressure group. They also took the ESN and handed over. And each of these things, when they do it, they don't hide it, they come and speak about it. If they don't talk about it, the people that they did the deal with come and talk about it. Governor Soludo spoke about it. The handing over of the ESN, their own HOD, that idiot in Switzerland, spoke about it by himself. And I'm going to show you the clip. You know, some of us have a short memory. That is why it is important that we remind you of these events. Now, I want you to hear the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, telling us how they took over the IPOB Mazin Nanikan established. Made it a political pressure group today. From that moment, the Prime Minister took the IPOB as a nation and converted it to a country. Today, we are speaking as a government. What we have today is the government of Biafra. Government of Biafra. De facto government in the whole land and in exile. This government today is the government that speaks on behalf of Biafra. Here, Soludo, when they took over the IPOB and made it IPOB Nigeria.
IPOB and all of that. But IPOB has come out and emphatically said, and I believe them, that they are no longer part of this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us. And we'll probably see their own actions in the next few days. And the people are waiting to see what they can or cannot do to join us. And we called on them on the day of our inauguration. That if you are not part of this, come.
They told us, they came to us and said we should, the governors came.
You heard him. You heard Soludo speaking here in ABC that IPOB was handed over to them. Today, he now referred to those who have refused to join them as criminals. He now refers to those who are upholding the legacy of Mazin Nanikan as criminals. This is the governor of Anambra State, Soludo, speaking in his own word that IPOB have come to denounce and say that they are now working with them. IPOB is now working with them. These same people who are working with the governors will come and tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working with the government of Nigeria. Who is the governor who is the governor working for? The governors are working for Nigerian government. And when you are working with the governors, you are actually working for Nigerian government. Why is it so difficult for people to understand? It is so sad that when I see people come and say they are confused, when these confessions are on video, online, it is so, sometimes it baffles me how some people will come and tell me that they are confused. You don't know whom to follow. You don't know who is on the right path and who is not on the right path. Here you are seeing a governor confessing that IPOB are now agreeing to work with them and they are working with them. And you know that the governor is working for the government of Nigeria. So why are you not asking who is working for the government and who is not working? Those of us who have refused to join them to work with governors, they tag us as criminals. They call us criminals. They call us terrorists. They call us some other name. Remember the word of our Prime Minister. It is not what you are called today that matters. It is what you will be called in the future. And you think by calling us name that will change anything. It can never, ever. Instead, it will make us stronger. I want you to hear from Soludo. Hear directly from the governor.
Of IPOB and all of that. But IPOB has come out and emphatically said, and I believe them, that they are no longer part of this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us.
Did you hear? They are now working with him.
Now working with us, as it were. And they are now working with us, gang, as it were. And they are now working with us, this criminal gang, as it were. And they are now working with us, and we'll probably see their own actions in the next few days, and the people are waiting to see what they can or cannot do to join us. And we.
You see, the IPOB Nigeria joined them. IPOB Nigeria joined them. Did you hear it and hear it clear?
And we called on them on the day of our inauguration to join us. And we called on them on the day of to join us. And we called on them on the day of our inauguration to join us. And we called on them on the day of our inauguration that if you are not part of this, come.
Did you hear it? This was when they handed over the IPOB as an organization that Mazin Nandekano created, and they took it and handed it over to the governors. Soludo came out and spoke about it. He didn't hide it. That they are now working with him. And as if that is not enough, their HOD, the clown in Finland, not in Finland, in Switzerland, that clown in Switzerland came out also and made a statement and explained how they handed over the ESN established by Mazin Nandekano to protect the life and property of Biafrans. He took that ESN and handed over to the governors. You know, some of us sometimes, when Mazin Samaneba make a declaration, you don't understand. When Mazin Samaneba came out and told us that ESN is dissolved, it is no longer existing. What we have is the Biafra Liberation Army. Some of us did not understand it. Even some people got angry with him. Why must he say that? Some began to attack him because of that statement. But for every single statement the Prime Minister utters, there is a reason why he uttered those statements. For every single statement the Prime Minister makes, there is a reason why he makes that statement. The ESN was handed over to the governors. So it is not only working with them, they were working with them in full, and they took all the instruments that was supposed to meant to restore Biafra and handed over to governors, including ESN. Now I want you to listen to the voice of the criminal who was supposed to superhead the protection of Biafra, but he sold Mazin Nandekano out and sold out the ESN to the governors. And in all these deals, they collected money. It is all about money. It's all about their stomach. I want you to hear directly. Hear directly from the one that called himself Chike Dozie in Switzerland. Who, even in that Switzerland, nobody knows him as a Biafra. Have you ever seen him making any impact about Biafra in Finland, in Switzerland? Have you ever seen him make any move? Even in his own council in Switzerland. This is where they sold the ESN and took money. Listen to his voice message.
Told us, they came to us and
that if you are not part of this, come.
They told us, they came to us and said we should, the governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that.
Did you hear it? The governor came to them and said they should hand over the Eastern Security Network to them, and they did. Yes, they did.
They told us, they came to us and said we should, the governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that they will be paying these young men salaries and put them on salary scale and the rest. And now they told us, they came to us and said we should, the governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that they will be paying these young men salaries and put them on salary scale and the rest. And now they feel that they have gotten all they want. This and said the governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that they will be paying these young men salaries and put them on salary scale and the rest. And now they feel that they have gotten all they want. These men, this camp has become the expendable.
Did you hear? And now they have gotten whatever they want. And now they have gotten what they wanted. They came to you and tell you to hand over the Eastern Security Network to them, and you handed it over. And now, after you have handed it over to them, they went to the camp, destroyed the camp, and did whatever they did on the camp. And you have the guts to come and speak in the public and tell Biafra that they came to you and you actually handed over the Eastern Security Network to them.
The governors came, not the army now. The governors came and said we should hand over Eastern Security Network to them so that they will be paying these young men salaries and put them on salary scale and the rest. And now they feel that they have gotten all they want. These men.
Did you see that it is about the money? That they should hand them over the Eastern Security Network, that they will put these men on salary. And after they have gotten what they want, it is about the money. After the governors have paid them off, they handed over the Eastern Security Network to them. The governors paid these people heavily to hand over the Eastern Security Network, and they did. And after they handed over, the governors invaded the camps and took over. Some of those people are the ones they are using today as the unknown gunmen that you see. Some of the ones that they're using as their talks today, they are still the ones they went and recruited as a bubag to begin to fight against the people. The Ebubago that all the people in the southeast have protested and said, we do not want them. Ebubago has been indicted in all manner of crime, in kidnapping, in the extortion. Even fellow politicians have complained about the activities of Ebubago. All these things were possible because this idiot handed over the Eastern Security Network to the governors after they have agreed with Soludo to be working hand in hand with him. And he has the gun to come online on their radio IPOB Nigeria and begin to announce this. This is what he was saying in the public that everybody hears. It is so sad.
This camp has become the expendable for them. Now they were able suddenly to be able to go in and attack and destroy this. Of course, it's good that they took away these villains that had.
You see? And he now, after complaining that they handed over the ESN to the governors, he also admitted and said, of course, it is nice that they gave them up. And he called them villains. He is happy that they handed them over to the governors. So when you see him speaking, listen carefully. After that confession, to showcase his pride, then he come and say, of course, he's happy that they were taken over. And he hoped that they're not going to take them and begin to use them somewhere else, which is exactly what is happening. And he knows that they are going to use them in a Bubago to fight against the Biafran people. But still yet, this idiot handed over the ESN to the government.
Causing that they have gotten all they want. These men, this camp has become the expendable for them. Now they were able suddenly to be able to go in and attack and destroy this. Of course, it's good that they took away these villains that had been causing a lot of trouble for the Biafran people. But that is if they are not going to relocate them to another place and then begin to continue their trouble.
You see, this man, this idiot, is already seen the ESN as troublemakers. This idiot was already seeing the ESN as, look at what he called them as troublemakers. That he hoped they're not going to take them somewhere else and begin to use them, allow them to continue their troubles, to continue to ferment their troubles. So ESN was seen as troublemakers by this idiot who claimed to be the leader of the DOS. And when we tell you, when Mazi Samara came out and announced that the ESN have ended, some of you would think, oh, he's proud. Why is he doing this? Now look at what somebody who claimed to be in charge of that ESN is saying. This was how they corrupted the ESN. At a time, the people who were diligently sincere to defend Biafra land, they were sentenced to death. That if you mention the name of our prime minister in the camp, you are a dead man. And that was when they eliminated so many of the Biafran people, innocent people, simply because they had a contact with our prime minister. These people handed over the ESN to the governors by themselves. And they were happy doing it. They were happy doing it because they saw the ESN as a hindrance, as a troublemaker, according to him. And today, these same people will come and tell you that Mazi Simon Ekpa is working for the government. And some of you will listen. And some people come here and begin to ask me a question about it. When you are seeing a true confession online, on video and everything, how they are working with the government, and yet some of you are still ignorant and confused. I don't know what else to tell you, but I bet you, this time that we're in, there is no going back. It is forward ever and backward never.
But we are waiting for them, and we are ready for them. And while we are on this, I am appealing to the governors of the Eastern region.
He's appealing to the governors.
From, in fact, not only the Eastern region now, I mean the whole of the Eastern region, the Biafran states, from Ebonyi to Delta to Bayelsa to Rivers and Nemesis, all of you, all your governors, what I'm asking you to do tonight, Abia State Governor, I know that you will not fail your people, that your name, that the poor people will continue to talk about you. Anambra State Governor, that the people will talk about you. Enugu State Governor, Ebonyi State, Delta State, River State, all of you.
You have heard. So, do you still have a doubt about those who are working with the zoo? Why do you still have a doubt? Why are you still paying attention to these people? People who have not offered you anything. For the past 4 years, the Mazi Nandeka's incarceration, they haven't done anything to free Mazi Nandeka. Even to maintain the legacy of Mazi Nandeka, to keep that legacy, they couldn't. They couldn't keep that legacy. That is how bad it is. But these same people will have the guts to come online and speak and talk down on our prime minister, who is standing on the rock. For all of them, I pity them. I pity them because what they are going to face, they cannot stand. I want you to hear this one from our prime minister.
Appeal to those. Then appeal to Samonaka. Lastly, I want to appeal to those. Then appeal to Samonaka. Let me tone down my tone. maka ndị na-apịlụ Simon Ekpa aka ọkpọ meghe na aka unu maka ịpịalụ m aka ọkpọ aka ga-agaghị emepezi until you call me. Mana ịkụcha m ya ị ga-anakwa ije ahụ because aka ahụ na-apịlụ Simon Ekpa unu agaghị akụnwu ya and unu kwụọ ya unu maka nsị eme. I do not fight those who do not fight me. I only fight those who fight me. If you fight me directly, I fight you. If you fight me indirectly, I fight you. And before I fight you, I will give warning. That is me. Makana ihe na-anọ erika. Agha na-anọ erika. So, and I don't choose agha na-anọ. I choose the fight. I fight. I don't just fight anyhow fight. But if we fight in fight now, I want Barrister Jofor to go and meditate and think deeply before he pick up a fight.
This was when our Prime Minister was preparing for this warfare. It has been a long time. And before ever he picked up that fight, he won and won and won. For those who will take correction, to take correction. For those who are involving themselves in one dubious activity or the other, to withdraw. But they refuse to listen. They refuse to listen. He gave them ample time for them to be able to change. They refuse. Today, look at where we are. Look at where we are today. It is progress right, left, and center. We are making huge progress in all angles, in all ramifications. Everywhere you turn to your left, turn to your right. Anywhere you turn, you see progress. Biafra is making progress. Today, the lobbying firm is doing excellent job. Biafra is on the highest stage today internationally. Biafra is on the highest stage. And the government of Biafra is lobbying seriously. The lobbying group is doing a very wonderful job. A very wonderful job. Making sure that the voice of Biafran people is heard. To the highest level. You can't beat it. You cannot beat it. It doesn't matter how you continue to hate him. It doesn't matter your propaganda, your blackmail. It cannot change anything. It cannot change anything. Your propaganda, your blackmail cannot change anything. It will only make him to be much more stronger and much more resilient. Today you can see the Biafran government doing exploit on different fronts in Washington, D.C., holding series of meetings every blessed day. Look at this. Biafra. Simon Ekpa's Minister of Finance meets with U.S. congressmen. And this kind of news are the news that when the zoo see it, they will be shaking. This is our Minister of State, our Minister of Finance, meeting a congressman in the U.S. We have met the number 3 man in the U.S. And many members of the Congress have been spoken to. People that matters, opinion molders in the United States. This is why the zoo is shaking and they are scared of the recognition of Biafra. They are so scared about the recognition of Biafra. Biafra is going to be recognized in such a way that it is going to shake them. They know that it is ended. Look at the zoo today, what is happening. When you look at what is happening, is that the country that somebody will be inspiring to be part of? Look at the kind of scandal you see. You see the recent video that is going viral. How every one of them is involved in fraud, including a son, senior advocate of the Nigeria. That is why I have always said it. I have said it in my program many other times, that anybody that come out in Nigeria and tell you that he is a human rights activist, wrong. They are the worst. All those ones that call themselves human rights activists, More especially those ones that call themselves lawyers, they are the worst of the worst. Look at the one that called himself Ozekeme. That man brought committee man in that kind of case. What did he do? What did he do? Every one of them is fraudulent. They are collecting their money from the bank. Look at this recent revelation. If they tell you that a man of that caliber will collect bribe, will you agree? But when you see him online, he will be making noise. You will see him on the national TV, he will be shouting and making noise. Now you understand why they support everything that they do. Now you understand why they cannot criticize critically. Now you understand. You see, when we say the zoo cannot survive, some of you think it's just out of hatred. It is not. It's based on reality, based on fact. You remember one of the president of the UK said that Nigeria is fantastically corrupt, even though they are the ones who put that corruption in place. He confessed it and said, Nigeria is fantastically corrupt, even though they are the ones that established that foundation of corruption. Wherever you are watching this program from, I urge you in the name of Chukwu Okadiano to please pay attention to what is going on. Pay attention. The Biafran people that are fighting for your freedom are not your enemy. For those of you who are not part of our struggle, it is your choice. Nobody is forcing you. If you prefer slavery, go ahead and enjoy it. But do not talk down on those who want to be free. Do not talk down on those who want to be free. The evil of the zoo cannot be hidden. The evil of the zoo is so clear, it cannot be hidden. It cannot be hidden, no matter how you try to hide it. The evil in the zoo is so much that you can't be able to hide it. You can't hide it anymore. A time has come when you cannot hide the evil of the zoo. It is so much that there is no place to hide. The more you try to pretend it's not happening, the more it is being thrown in your face. The more you pretend that it is not happening, the more they throw it to your face. Look at the scandal. That somebody was sentenced to jail. Instead of putting the person in prison, they put him in a room. And when we hear something, some of you are surprised. I don't know why some of you are surprised to hear. These things have been happening. It didn't just start yesterday. That is one thing I don't understand. Sometimes when these people, when the one Nigerians hear things, you begin to be surprised as if it's something that there is nothing to be surprised about. It didn't start yesterday. That very thing that guy released, that very information, it didn't start yesterday. It has been happening. But whenever it happened, it's swept under the carpet. Do you remember what transpired before this man called Tinubu? This drug baron became your president. Do you remember what happened? When he went to meet the Chief Justice of the Federation, the CGN or whatever they call him, Chief Justice of the Federation, when he sat in a wheelchair, disguised, and went to the UK as somebody who is going for medical treatment. And this drug baron went there to go and meet him, and they connived and discussed what they discussed before he became a president. So when you see some manipulations, when they see something, you see as if it didn't start today. Is it today they begin to put people in their house and put the other people in hope? Some of you have forgotten what transpired during the time of what they call during the time of the first time Muhammad Buhari came to power. When Muhammad Buhari overthrew Shagari, have you forgotten what happened? Muhammad Buhari overthrew Shagari. He took Ekweme and put in Kirikiri. Meanwhile, he took Buhari, Shagari, his own brother, and put him in his own house. But when you see these things today, when you see somebody reveal this thing today, some of us will be shouting as if it didn't start today. We didn't start today. The party government, knowing somebody and becoming somebody in Nigeria didn't start today. The British laid the foundation. And that is why they always set that trap for you. If you are not among them, you can't belong. Except you are corrupt, you cannot have a position in Nigeria. Only when you are corrupt, you can have a position so that they can be able to manipulate you. They will make sure you are corrupt. How corrupt you are determines if you will have a position in Nigeria or not. That is what they check. They will first of all check your qualification in corruption. If you are not well qualified in corruption, you cannot be anybody in the Nigerian government. One of the qualities you have to acquire to become a person in the government of Nigeria is to be very, very fantastically corrupt. Remember then, the late Muhammad Buhari overthrew Shagari and he took the vice president, Ekwueme, who has nothing to do with their idiotic governance, put Ekwueme in Kirikiri, and he took Shagari, his brother, and kept at home. The same thing is happening, continue to happen. This Buhari that just left, there are thousands of scandals of billions of dollars that we are stolen. Have you ever seen anybody going after them? Have you ever seen EFCC going after them? There are both the woman that stole money that was meant for feeding of children, that came and told us how he spent billions of dollars to feed children who were in their homes during the COVID-19. Did you see the EFCC go to arrest her? All the money that was stolen under Muhammad Buhari, the ones that have been probed and been spoken about, even online, the videos are still there with evidence. Fact, video evidence, names we are called. Did you see the EFCC going after them? So why are you surprised when you are hearing the revelation that was made by that clown? Why are you surprised? Why are you surprised? My anger is that these same people today who will come and shout, when you tell them that to end this contraption is the ultimate, they will tell you, no, let's see if it will work. Work what? The only solution to Nigeria is to end it. The foundation is faulty. Very, very destructive foundation, and you can never get anything out of that foundation. It's a foundation that is meant to destroy you. And the earlier you understand that, the better for every one of us. I want you to hear this very commercial before we go forward.
Somebody in one people ask him about ya chwa genja ba ya chwa ge mini ya chwa ge elu ya chwa ga la ya chwa ge shege ngebe kulo ngebe bela ije ne elu ki bere ne no asmelu ya chwa ge ofo ije na la ki bere asma la ya chwa kwa ge ge ja na sere mini na fufu ni le ko mu Igbo na ata afufu niile ka ụmụ Biafra na-ata egbe niile ka a na-agba anyị n'isi anyị ọnọdụ ọjọọ ka ha na-ekreti terọrist ka a na-akpọ anyị ma ya bụdo egbe asị ma nnụ niile nke na-aplan onye ọjọọ nke na-ekwu okwu ọjọọ rapụta na soshal midia abalị na ndị karasị m na nnụ ga-eji ala sere mmiri dị si ya.
I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb were born. Do this very well. You must be very, very strong.
Otu nnọkọ ezinụlọ otu ada ndị bụ na ndị egede hibere n'ije nwere onwe anyị iji were kwado onye isi ala anyị na ndị otu ọrụ ya Biafra Republic Government in Exile na-akpọ ụwa niile ogwu na-akpọkwazi ụmụ Biafra niile nọ na mpaghara mba ụwa niile iji nabata onye isi ala nwa ime mmụọ nke Maazị Nnamdi Kanu nwata tọrọ agbara gbakasị ya ahụ.
Prime Minister of Biafra Republic Government in Exile. Maazị Simon Ekpa ịkpọnụ sụrụ siri gaba n'iru na egwu adịrị aga abụọ ma ya ebudo ụzọ gịnị.
Ọnwa Ọktoba agba 13 n'afọ 2024 ma ọ kụọ elekere 6 nke mgbede n'oge Biafra ebe ọgbakọ bụ na mbugharị ndị oyibo kpọrọ Zoom.
A human being being sliced into two. Can you imagine such a thing? Biafra is going to emerge as a nation. Despite the support of Britain, Russia, Egypt, and some other friends of Nigeria, we all will surely come out as a nation because we are fighting a just cause. Even a little child on the street will tell you this. We shall never go back to Nigeria again. God's grace will surely emerge as a nation. And so as far as this war continues, we'll fight to the last man.
You must go and listen to Simon Ekpa, who is doing a very fantastic job. Very great job that Simon Ekpa is doing. Very, very, absolutely fantastic job that he's doing. You must listen to him and share his videos accordingly. Very, very important.
Welcome back, my fellow Biafrans. You must understand that the decay of the zoological republic is foundational. It didn't start yesterday, and there is no remedy. The foundation upon which the zoo is standing is faulty and can never, ever, ever stand. The only thing to do is to destroy that foundation and start a new one. And that is the project we have. That is the project that Maazị Simon Ekpa Njoku, the commander-in-chief of the armed forces of Biafra, is leading. That is the project he is carrying out, and that project he is going to accomplish it. The project was started by our eternal leader, Ekpa Njoku. Wazirike came in and fell out. Our Supreme Namazi Nandekano came in and strengthened that very foundation. Today, the finisher, Maazị Simon Ekpa, is in charge, and Biafra will definitely become, and the zoo will end. It will end. In case you do not understand, when we say that the foundation of the zoo is fraudulent, a fraudulent foundation, I want to play a clip for you now. Listen to this clip. You will understand how corrupt, how deep the corruption in Nigeria is and when it started. It didn't start yesterday, and it's not going to end tomorrow until you end Nigeria. When you end Nigeria, you end the corruption. You build a system where human being can live as a human. What we are asking is for humanity. We want to establish a sane society where human being can exist and live like human being. We don't want a situation where people will be threats to each other, where people are living like animals and eating each other. No. The zoo, Nigeria, has become a threat to the world. Even though people deny it, it is a fact. We cannot continue to sit back and watch. Everyone that cares about humanity should support the disintegration of the zoo. Let the North be on their own, the Southwest on their own, the Middle Belt on their own, and Biafra land have their independence. That is what we're asking for. Listen to this very video. Wow.
In defense of my honor and with due deference to those concerned.
In 1949, a company belonging to Dr. Nnamdi Azikiwe and his family bought a bank in Lagos. The bank was bought with the intention to have a bank controlled by a black Nigerian, which will serve the interest of other Nigerians. Because then, banks were owned and controlled by the British. So Azikiwe desired to have a bank that Africans can call their own, which would break the British banking monopoly in Nigeria. The name of the bank then was African Continental Bank. However, after some years, a report about transactions carried out by the bank showed that although Nnamdi Azikiwe had resigned as chairman of the bank when he took office as the premier of Eastern Region in 1954, but the active chairman of the bank, as at the time of the report, was his friend. The report revealed that most of the paid-up capital of the bank were from the Eastern Regional Financial Corporation. So a tribunal was set up to investigate the matter. It was headed by the then Nigeria's Chief Justice, Sir Foster Sutton, and was called the Foster Sutton Tribunal. The tribunal found out that while serving as the Premier of Eastern Region, Nnamdi Azikiwe had transferred public money, which was about 1/4 of the whole 1955-1956 revenue of the Eastern Region, to his own bank in order to save the bank from collapse. Corruption did not start from there. In fact, let's start from the beginning. Before Nnamdi Azikiwe's corruption case, in 1943, Sir Ahmadu Bello was sentenced to 1 year in prison by the Sultan of Sokoto's court for misappropriating cattle tax which he collected from cattle owners in Gusau region in present-day Zamfara state, where he was the councillor. However, he spent only 3 months in jail. As he appealed the sentence in a higher court, stating his innocence, the court later granted him freedom. Few years after independence, in 1962, Chief Obafemi Awolowo was found guilty by a commission of inquiry known as Justice Coker Commission for using the Western region's money to finance the promotion and activities of his party, the Action Group. The Coker Commission found out that Awolowo mismanaged and diverted funds totaling over £6 million from the Western Region Marketing Board to finance political activities. All these were corruption cases that had connection to the founding fathers of Nigeria. But corruption was firstly introduced in Nigeria way back in 1914 when Nigeria became a country. Just a few months after the amalgamation of Southern and Northern Nigeria, the British contractors and traders introduced what they called contract percentage into the Nigerian trade system. What is this contract percentage? Contract percentage was the extra money contractors and traders were making from every contract awarded. For instance, if Mr. John is a building contractor, he would approach Mr. Ben, who is a permanent secretary in the Ministry of Works, for a contract to build a 10-kilometer road in Lagos. Mr. Ben would then tell Mr. John to add an extra percent to the cost of the contract, let's say like 15 or 20%, which would be given to him as his own reward for awarding the contract to him. The 15 or 20% extra cost on the contract would be given to Mr. Ben, who awarded the contract to Mr. John, when Mr. Ben received the payment from the government or organization that awarded the contract. That was how the British introduced the first phase of corruption in Nigeria. This process of awarding contracts by government officials and private organizations still persists till date in Nigeria. The third chapters of corruption happened when large sums of money suddenly disappeared from the accounts of government agencies, commissions, and parastatals. It happened between 1976 and 1979. The Nigerian oil sector lost $2.8 billion. Muhammadu Buhari was the Federal Commissioner for Petroleum and Natural Resources when this happened. Again, during the Gulf War, the same Nigeria oil sector lost $12.4 billion under General Ibrahim Babangida's regime. These huge sums of money were not accounted for by both administrations. A recent attempt through a lawsuit by a civil society group to bring Babangida to account for the money which got missing under his watch was struck out by a federal high court in Abuja. Additionally, the fourth origin of corruption in Nigeria was done through a decree called the Land Use Decree, which is today known as the Land Use Act. How did it happen? For instance, there was a federal government program called...
Now you can see that the corruption in the zoo is foundational. The only way to solve this corruption problem is to end it. Just close that chapter called Nigeria. Close it completely, throw it, trash it, close it, trash it, and throw it away. And create new nations. The Arewa, the Oduduwa, the Biafra, and the Middle Belt. Until you do this, the insecurity will continue. Until you do this, the bad economy will continue. Until you do it, the loss of life in Nigeria will continue. And the fraud will continue to graduate from day to day, more systematic than you can ever believe. When we say it, some of you think it's a joke. That is why we play videos to back up every single thing we are saying. Maybe when you see those videos, you begin to believe the truth. What you are seeing is foundation. The evil foundation that was led by the British from the onset. This one I played is just few. These same British manipulated the census in that zoo. They manipulated the election. They planted the evil seed you see today that you cannot hold a credible election in Nigeria. And as long as you continue to mention that name, zoo, Nigeria, there is nothing you put your hand into that will succeed. You know that and know peace. My fellow Biafrans, I appreciate every one of you that have been part of this program. We are bringing the program to the end. I thank you for being part of this program. Thank you for all your support. Thank you for everything you have done for the program of today. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect you. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama continue to secure every one of us that have been part of this program. I pray that we will continue to do the right thing. Most especially, support the disintegration of the zoo under our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, through the Biafran government. Support the Liberation Army of Biafra. Our fundraising is going to come up tomorrow. Be there in the fundraising. Give your own support, no matter how little. It is going to go a long way. May Chukwu Okike Abiyama guide and protect all of us all. Guide and protect the Liberation Army, the resistance fighters, the Black Marine. Guide and protect the de facto government in the whole land. Every member of the media. Guide and protect all the members of the Biafran cabinet. Guide and protect our Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa, the Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces of Biafra. We pray for his divine protection. We pray for his security. We pray for his safety. We pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to guide him, protect him, and secure him. We pray for Mazi Nnamdi for good health. We pray for Mazi Nnamdi for strength. We pray for Mazi Nnamdi for revelations. Wherever he is, we pray that Chukwu Okike Abiyama will continue to strengthen him, give him wisdom, knowledge, understanding to continue to lead us until we get to the promised land very soon. Thank you so much for watching. No weapon formed of fashion against us shall prosper. No weapon formed of fashion against our Prime Minister shall prosper. No weapon formed of fashion against our Supreme Mazi Nnamdi shall prosper. Thank you and stay safe. See you tomorrow by the grace of Chukwu Okike Abiyama.
Biafra!